You are exactly where you need to be to get to where you want to be. The past happened for a reason. The past made you the person that you are today. It is the reason why you are you. Whether for good or for bad, the past created you. You sometimes get caught up in the past. It's difficult to live in the present when you're constantly surrounded by the experiences of your past. You may be aware of it, you may not. The same fact remains. It is changing you for the better or for the worse, but the wrong approach will affect your well-being, happiness, and your growth. It will prevent you from reaching the future that you want to become. Now there are two paths that you can go on. You can either avoid the past or you can revisit the past. This decision will determine how you will move forward. These two paths first begin with having awareness of your current situation. If you're not aware of how you're approaching the past, let's start here. Let's explore why we avoid the past. For you, it could be that you refuse to revisit the traumatic or unpleasant past because the pain of it is just too overwhelming. You may see it as a way to protect yourself. You feel that your past experiences are holding you back. You may even be in denial of what's happening. Ultimately, it leads to the cycle of harmful patterns. It leads to the cycle of pain, which is something nobody wants. It's something that you don't want. Ignorance is not really bliss. The emotions from the past don't just vanish, they build up over time and the cycle will perpetuate. The other approach is revisiting the past. There are two reasons why you do this. There's comfort in the familiarity, or you want to find closure. Finding comfort in the familiarity leads to the same conclusion as avoiding the past. It leads to the cycle of pain, which is where you do not want to end up. The comfort in the familiarity leads to something called repetition compulsion, which involves repeating physically or emotionally painful situations that happened in the past. It could be the reason why you desire or even go back to your toxic ex. This is something we do not want. You go down this path because you are attempting to seek control or hoping for a different outcome, or even attempting to reprocess those emotions. The truth is, even though it feels safe, finding comfort in the familiarity will not work. The past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. The past is a place of learning, not a place of living. Then, we have the path of revisiting the past to find closure. We can ultimately accomplish this through introspection. While it's impossible to change the past, we can look at it differently and grow from it. First, you need to reflect and acknowledge the present self. Ask yourself these two questions. What was one significant event in my life that made me who I am today? And what emotions do I feel when I think about this event? Do not resist the thoughts. Do not hold anything back. Focus on one thing at a time. Write it down if you have to. Second, seek understanding. Start with asking questions. Peel back the onion and dissect that event. There's no one single answer. Simply ask yourself, how did this event affect me? You can continue to ask yourself more questions, but don't get into a loop of questioning. With these questions, common patterns will emerge. Do you constantly self-sabotage, experience the same negative emotions, avoid confrontation, or become overly aggressive? Acknowledge that pattern and find the lesson. Once you find a pattern, you want to process and express your understanding thus far. Humans are social creatures. Everyone needs an outlet. Don't hold it in. Venting is healthy. It is not a sign of weakness. Communicate these patterns and lessons. If you don't want to talk to someone, a friend or a family, then write it down, externalize it, release it into the universe. Repressed emotions will never die. As you go through this process, the final step is to integrate it into your life. Over time, you'll gain more clarity into the awareness of the past. Clarity will lead to knowledge, but knowledge without application is useless. Confucius said, "The essence of knowledge is having it to apply it, not having it to confess your ignorance." Find the lessons of the past and apply it to your own life, but do not attach hatred. Attach your lessons with forgiveness and compassion towards yourself. Let's summarize. Do not avoid the past, but revisit it. And if we do revisit the past, do not find comfort in the familiarity, but find closure through deep introspection. So if you made it this far into the video, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being part of this community. If you're not, and if you want to join the community, I have a free school community in the description, and I also have a newsletter that I just released. So if you want some exclusive content, if you want to have a community, go ahead and sign up for that. The link is in my bio. And with that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day.